Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be doing another makeup tutorial, and just for you guys I am going to be using my brand new Jaclyn Hill Favorites eyeshadow palette from Morphe Brushes, which came out on New Year's Eve at the beginning of the month. And just to show you, here it is. Ooh. So what I did was I did a very kind of neutral soft glam look with very strong red lips, obviously to go with my For Real top. And yeah, so that's about it really. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Okay, so my foundation is obviously done already, and now I'm going to be using the fabulous Jaclyn Hill Favorites eyeshadow palette by Morphe Brushes. And yes, I am very excited, as you can tell. So what I'm going to do first is just use my usual butterscotch and an E50 fluffy brush from Sigma just to neutralize my eye. This bit is optional, but this is just something that I always do, and I'm sure you guys are used to seeing me doing it in every video. So the first shade I'm using is this lovely kind of caramel brown shade, and I'm using a Royal & Langnickel Pro Tapered Blender brush, and I am applying this shade all in the crease. This is the first time I'm ever using this palette, so I went a little bit overboard on this first eye. As you can kind of tell, I'm like silently shocked because the shadows were so pigmented I had no idea. So I have had to blend this eye out a lot more. As you can see, I kind of learned with the second eye and I slowly built up the colour. So that's just something to bear in mind when you wear too much eyeshadow by accident. You can blend it out is if it's in your crease. Using this slightly more ashier brown, which is also a matte, I am applying this to the outer V area directly under the crease, but blending it into it slightly, as well as the outer corner of the lid. This is just to define the eye and give it a little bit of damage. This is a gorgeous kind of champagne-y bronzy gold colour, and I'm applying that all over the lid with a Zoeva Smoky Shader flat brush, which is awesome for packing on colour. And I am just applying it up until the edge of that kind of darker brown that I placed on the outer V of the eye. I wanted a little bit of shimmery highlight, so I'm using this shimmery ivory shade, and I am applying that all over my brow bone, as I always do, and then I will go back in with whatever fluffy brush I used with a little bit of the crease colour, just to kind of blend between those two lines to make sure there are no harsh lines at all and it's all beautifully blended out. Now to conceal under the eyes, using Creamy Beige, the shade that is, and my LA Girls concealer under the eyes, and I am doing it on my nose and stupidly on my chin. I had a spot there, which is a bit dumb, and then I am blending it all out with a beauty blender. I normally use my MAC Prep and Prime highlighter as well, but it finished yesterday. And of course, as always, I am setting my very used and very loved Anastasia contour kit in the shade Banana, and a Real Techniques contour brush to set my under eye concealer. And then again, as always, my Studio Fix powder in NC40 and a huge Sigma fluffy brush to set my foundation. Now I'm going to use the same dark brown shade and a Sigma pencil brush to run it under the lash line. Again, I went overboard with the colour, so I used the same lot that was on the brush, as you can see, on the other eye, and then I blended it out as much as I could just to make sure that it wasn't too over the top, because the lips are going to be really strong, so I didn't want overly powerful eyes. Then I'm going to be using my usual Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner in Perversion on my waterline. Really obvious contour, so this time I used the shade Fawn, which is more of an ashier brown, and a Sigma angled brush, and I very lightly contoured the sides of my cheeks and my forehead as I normally do, but because, as I said, I want the lips to be the focus of the look, I did not want to go overboard with the contour. Obviously, I still wanted to have a little bit of colour in my cheeks, so I'm using Give Me Sun Mineralize Skin Finish, and I'm very lightly dusting it over a certain points of my face. You can see the way I'm holding the brush and the way that I'm kind of brushing it across the face is to make sure that I don't go overboard. It's just to give my skin a little bit of dimension and a little bit of colour. For a tiny pop of blush, I am using the Cheek Pop from Clinique in Peach Pop and a MAC 129 brush, and I am very delicately applying it to the outside part of the apples of my cheeks, again just to give a nice little bit of colour to the face. And then to highlight the cheekbones, I'm using Opal Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. It's such a mouthful, and I'm using it to apply it to the high points of my face to illuminate, and that is on my cheekbones and on my nose, and if you choose to, you can do it on the cupid's bow of your mouth as well. Now the focus point of this whole look is this liquid lipstick, which is Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid Velour liquid lipstick in the shade Redrum. You have to shake it before you use it to kind of activate it and make it all lovely and creamy. And then I spent a long time doing my lips. I spent over a minute just making sure that I had to keep very steady hand, keep within the lines, as like with all liquid lipsticks, liquid to matte lipsticks, it's very easy to make a mistake and mess it all up. And that is basically what I used all over my mouth, and I was very careful. As you can see, I did not put the brush back in, because adding any extra liquid can always make it seep outside before it gets a chance to dry down.